wonderful show today. Woohoo! It's Rate the Date with Dorian Gray. Hi, John. Hope you are having a good Thursday. We're here today. This show should be fun. And by the way, I'm your presenter, Giggly Cat. And I'm excited to be here, and as well as our bachelor and our fabulous contestants. So Dorian will be joining us here in a few minutes. What's happening, Rogue the Muffin? Hello, Squint. How are you doing? I'm glad you all are here today to join us. This is where virtual dating becomes reality. And Dorian Gray is your host for Rate the Date. Woohoo! I'm great. How about you? I'm doing good. Now, don't forget to favorite your host and all the contestants and the bachelor today. Should be a good one. Hello, Vampy. How are you? What's going on? Hello, Slick Vic. Hello, Queen Truthful. So, without further ado, I'd like to announce Dorian Gray, and here's his catchy tune.
It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's gonna be fun. Who's gonna win the day? It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's gonna be fun. Who's gonna win the day? Dorian's here to find you a date. He's here to find you the perfect soulmate, soulmate. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's gonna be fun. Who's gonna win the day?
Hey now, everybody. Oh, thank you, Giggly. That was awesome. You look fantastic as always. Let me plug in this microphone for you guys and get this damn show started. Excuse my language. All right. You're tuning into the #1 show on the platform. It is called Rate the Date. Thank you, Gigs. Appreciate it. Always. You look fantastic. And you definitely know how to get the party started. That's for sure. Can I get a nice little welcome back for everybody that is tuning in? Welcome back, everybody. All right, Gigs, thank you. Appreciate it. Little Gigs, okay. And, okay, so we have an amazing episode for you guys today. But first, let's get into some things real quick. All right, so what you guys are watching is Rate the Date, the #1 show on the platform. And we have an amazing episode for you guys. We have the awesome Mr. Stallion, who is a very interesting guy. We'll be hearing from him in a little bit. And also we have 3 incredible contestants. But before we get into that, let me just get into a couple of things. We had the top gifters from our last episode. At our #1 spot, we had Ellie, the brat, always the lovely Ellie at the #1 spot. And also, guys, while you guys are sending those gifts, I'm going to be doing some sign language, but my chat, my admins are going to be the voice of me telling you guys thank you. I'm going to be giving my, physical appreciation, but they're going to be vocalizing it. It's hard being the #1 host on the app and also acknowledging all of y'all's comments. They're going to be also answering all of y'all's questions. And if you have any questions that want to be featured in the show, please write them down and they'll let me know. Again, #1 spot, that's Ellie Marie the Brat. #2 spot, that was Jesse. And number 3 spot, we have Good Listener. Number 4 spot, again, that Latin Spice. And that number 5 spot, he was also on the Bachelor on our last show. That's going to be Jordan. Can I just get a round of applause to all of our lovely top gifters? Definitely. We hear all those applauses in the chat. And speaking of that, we got the official Rate the Date name tag. So Ellie Marie the Brat, since she was a top gifter from the last episode, she is going to be featured on today's name tag. So ELLIE. Boom, boom. There you are, Ellie. And that's not the only opportunity to get on the official Rate the Date name tag. You have 30 minutes into the show, mid-show, whoever is the top gifter is going to definitely make the name tag, and you'll be featured on the official Instagram of Rate the Date. But without further ado, let's get our Bachelor into the box. We got the amazing, the awesome Mr. Stallion, so we're going to get him in here. And also, in the meantime, we have our last episode, we had Jordan, and he picked Promise, so we'll be hearing from them at the end of the episode. So without further ado, hold on, let me get him in the building.
Hello.
How we doing?
So far, so good.
Well, that is incredible. I got some random facts about you. But before we get into those random facts, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? It says here that you are a gamer. What type of games are you playing? And hopefully not with women's hearts.
Of course not. Never. I play some RPGs, which are games like Elder Scrolls or Final Fantasy, stuff like that. And then I play some shooters as well, which everybody knows what a shooter is, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, that is incredible. It also says here, I got another interesting fact about you. It says, I saw a glacier lake in Idaho. Tell me what that looks like, or how was that experience?
And so I wouldn't consider myself to be nearly as religious as I did when I was younger. But at one point, I used to go on like missions trips and stuff. And during one of them, we did a lot of like sightseeing and hiking and stuff like that, which for me was interesting because I'm not a heights person. I hate heights. And they're like, we're going to be climbing this mountain path that's 2.5 miles up, and there's a glacier lake on top. So to our side, there was no railing or anything. It's just a straight drop into like a forest. So I'm just like trying not to look on my side and going up. And the view was incredible on top, however. It looked like something you'd see in a movie or National Geographic. There was all these mountains and there's this huge lake. And some people dove in because they wanted to see what it would feel like. Me, at that point in time, I didn't know how to swim. So I didn't take my chances there.
Okay, awesome. So you definitely went for the books. I think you kind of painted a picture at a glacier's pace by in regards. Okay, and the last interesting fact about you, that this one might top it off, it says that Sasquatch has taken a picture of you, man. The most interesting man in the world over here, Mr. Stallion. Okay, Mr. Stallion, are you ready to meet your amazing, incredible contestants on today's episode? If I could get Rogue to request the box, along with Rare and Steph. All right, so let's meet some
Ready
of the
as
bachelorettes. I know they're all in here, so we're going to wait on them. You guys are tuning into the #1 show on the platform. We got the lovely Mr. Stallion in the box today. We're going to get to know one of his contestants that is booking the box. And then we also have Rare and Steph that we're going to wait for them to join the box. How are we doing, Rogue?
I'm good. How are you guys?
And just like the Rogue from X-Men, you can see that she has, you know, the hair and everything. And hopefully we'll get to know some of her superpowers. But speaking of superpowers, I got some random facts about her. The #1 fact about her, it says, I am a jazz singer. Can you give us a little taste of
not you putting me on the spot. John, thank you.
No pressure.
Oh, come on.
I knew it.
I know
I would, but my voice is raspy, so not this time. But I got you. Stallion, I got you.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about how long have you been singing jazz? What does that look like?
I've probably been singing it since I was in high school, so like 5 years, because one day someone was like, "You really sound like Amy Winehouse," and I had no idea who that was. And then when I searched her up and I like looked at her entire discography, I fell in love. So that's what I've been doing for the past like 5 years.
Oh, that is incredible. Okay, and so I have another random fact about you here. It says here that I'm trilingual. Tell us a little bit about all these languages that you speak.
Yes, so I'm Dominican and Brazilian, so I speak English, obviously, Spanish and Portuguese fluently.
Well, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And another random fact about you that I have here. And what's up, Rare? The other random fact, it says
Hey.
I have an extensive sneaker collection.
Yes, I'm a sneakerhead, so like Dunks, Jordans, all that like stacked up. That is like everyone has their like collection thing. Shoes is mine. So
Awesome, awesome. And okay, so then we have another lovely contestant. And speaking of lovely contestants, we're introducing another beautiful contestant. We got Rare over here. Rare looking gorgeous over here. She is glowing. Rare, I got some awesome random facts about you. It says that the number one fact about you, I love to read. What type of books are you reading?
Classic, function. I love it. Yeah.
And I know you guys are hearing an accent. Rare is German, and like the
No,
Germans
I'm
say,
Ukrainian. I'm not
Ukrainian.
German.
Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But I live
sorry,
in
sorry.
Germany. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
It's everything's fine.
Okay, and I also have here that you learn languages. What languages do you know? We have people that speak all type of languages today in the box, Mr. Stallion. So
Yeah, I'm native in Ukrainian, Russian. I hope I'm fluent in English and German.
oh, in
So,
German. And like the Germans say, Leben ist kein Ponyhof, which means life ain't easy. All right, another random fact that I have about her is she's very well traveled. You know, I don't think she learned those languages with staying in her comfort zone. So you've been to a lot of places in Europe, I'm guessing, Rare?
I think around 10 countries. Yeah,
Ooh.
10 countries.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to make an impression on our lovely bachelor today. All right, moving it right along to Steph. So Steph, how's it going? How are you doing today? You look incredible.
Hi, thank you. I'm fine. What about you guys?
I am doing fantastic. So just we hear another accent here. Hopefully I don't get this one wrong. She said, I am a Brazilian girl who loves to go to the beach.
Yeah, I'm always at the beach. Actually, here where I live, they used to call me the bikini girl because I am always wearing bikinis because that's what I love to do.
Well, that is awesome. That is definitely how you got that awesome tan. And for those people that are wondering, just tell them beach, please. All right, moving it along. It says, I live alone since I was 13 years old. So a little bit of an independent, are you?
Yeah, I am 22 now, and I had some family problems when I was a kid, so I had to move. Since then, I live alone.
Well, that is very interesting. And then also for the last fact that I have about you, it says, since I was a little kid, all of my friends are men. So more inclined to masculine energy, are we?
Yeah, I have a problem. I have this problem. I don't know how to make new friendship with girls.
Well, you seem very sweet and like the Brazilians say, te adoro, which means I adore you. Yeah. So, you know, trying to show off some languages over here. Okay, Mr. Stallion, you have some beautiful women in front of you, I would say. And you have some random questions that I think you came up with, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so without further ado, let's have Rogue be contestant number 1. We'll have Rare be contestant number 2. And then we'll have Steph be contestant number 3. There was like a Rogue One reference, a Star Wars reference that I missed out on. But enough about me. I hate my life. Let's get into it. What question do you have for contestant number 1?
All right. Contestant number 1. What is your favorite physical attribute about yourself?
is my favorite physical attribute probably my eyes. That would be my favorite thing about myself. I like the contrast between like my skin, my hair, and my eyes. So
Yeah, I would also say that, and I am definitely digging it. The better to see you, my dear, as they would say in the nursery rhymes. All right, moving it along over to our favorite Russian on today's show. Rare, what question do you have lined up for the
I'm
lovely contestant
Ukrainian.
number
I'm
2?
sorry. I'm Ukrainian. I'm
Ukrainian.
sorry.
Sorry, they're at war with each other. Don't hold it against me unless you want to. All right, what question do you have for the lovely Ukrainian?
Okay, contestant number 2. What do you consider to be a red flag in a relationship?
That's a good question.
Jealousy. Jealousy. I think it's the
Jealousy.
biggest red flag. Yeah.
And Mr. Stallion, what are you?
I feel like in a relationship, it's healthy to have a small amount of jealousy.
Yeah,
Not to the
but
point that
small.
people
Yeah,
are
but when
insecure.
it's over, it's not healthy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I hope you're taking notes on today's episode. All right, and now for contestant number 3, her first question. What do you have lined up for the lovely Steph?
Okay, contestant number 3. If you had to disappear and start a whole new life, what would you want your new life to look like?
That's a good one.
Can you repeat, please?
So Steph, if you had to start over, would you change anything, or would you keep on living the life like the way you're living it?
I don't. Yeah, I would change something,
What would you
probably.
change? Just curious.
I think all these problems that I had when I was younger, I think that I have some traumas because of it, so I would change it. And I think that's it. The rest is perfect.
Well, yeah, that is awesome. Well, I'm sure y'all wouldn't change nothing about y'all's looks these days because they're looking beautiful today. All right, moving it back over to the lovely contestant number 1. What question do we have lined up for the second question for contestant number 1?
Okay, contestant number 1. What is the wildest thing you've done to get attention?
oh my God.
Remember this
What
is a
kind of-
featured show, but you know, if we can keep it a little, at least PG-13.
For attention, I mean, I don't try to get it, but like if I do have a couple of drinks, like, you know, anything's up for fair game. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm just loud, obnoxious, and will do whatever. I don't have like a specific thing, but yeah, when I'm drunk, that's when I do the wildest, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Is anybody else curious? All right, but before we get to that, moving it right along over to our favorite Ukrainian. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 2, Mr. Stallion?
Okay, contestant number 2. What is the biggest boundary you have in a relationship?
I'm not really how would say experienced in a relationship. So yeah, I never had a boyfriend, so I've been used. So
Say
I've
what?
never had a boyfriend either, for the record.
so maybe I will explore this in the future. So I don't have
Yeah,
that.
hopefully we can definitely change that on today's episode. I can't say I never had a boyfriend. I've been dating myself now for about 31 years, but enough about me. Let's move it over to our lovely Brazilian over here. What question do we have lined up for contestant number 3?
Okay, contestant number 3. What is the most ridiculous thing you've ever bought?
I have no idea. I have no idea because I am shy. I'm really shy, so I'm not the kind of girl that do ridiculous things. So
Well, if you
I don't
bought
know.
maybe like you had to have this little like dog statue for the bathroom or something, like something kind of silly.
I really don't know. Oh my God, I really don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess she's not keeping up with the Kardashians. Okay, moving it before we get over to our contestant number 1. we do have a plug for the show. So I got to tell you guys what you're watching. This is Rate the Date, the #1 show on the platform. I'm your lovely host, Dorian Gray. And we got a handsome bachelor on today's episode and 3 beautiful contestants. And what's going to happen is after this round, unfortunately, somebody has to be eliminated. But it's okay because even the eliminated contestants go into a group chat and we try to hook everybody up on the app. Mr. Stallion, you were a contestant at one point, and now you are in the spotlight at your own bachelor sitting on today's show. After that, we move into round number 2, where we'll double up the questions, and the last remaining 2 people get 8 questions apiece, and then he makes his final pick. They get to know each other off of the platform on the Book of Face, the Snap of all chats, the Gram of all Instas, whatever the kids are calling it these days, and then you tune back in next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and you give us a little update on how things have been going. Speaking of updates, before we get back into the show, we had the lovely Jordan, and he picked Promise as his match, and we'll be hearing from them at the end of the episode. Okay, so Mr. Stallion, what question do you have lined up for contestant number 1?
Okay, contestant number 1. What are your love languages?
Definitely touch and reassurance. Like I like physical, but I also like, those little things, like the little reminders. I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that, especially when they get into the relationship, that the little things do matter. So I would definitely say those 2.
That is interesting. And I love that transparency that in the being able to we're actually getting to know these women a little bit better. All right, moving it back over to Rare. What question do you have lined up for Rare, Mr. Stallion?
Okay, let's see.
Don't think too hard.
If you had to
My English
describe
is not that good. My English is not that good, so yeah.
Okay.
The easiest one is for me.
Well, I heard everything you said, so it's not that
you're
bad
good.
either.
You're doing great. Okay, contestant number 2. If you had to describe yourself as an animal, which would it be?
Animal? Oh wow.
A booty shaking crab. No, I'm just get out of her face with that.
I think female lion. Yeah,
Ooh,
female.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a
Why?
fighter. Yeah.
Oh, you're a fighter?
Yes.
Interesting. No boyfriend, but loves the fighting. I wonder if there's a correlation between the two. Okay, moving it back over to Steph. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 3?
Might have to look up if lions eat stallions before we continue.
I'm sure they'll have a go at a stallion.
Okay, contestant number 3. What is it that you would say you are most passionate about?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think dance.
Dance, okay. Any specific kind or just in general?
Street dance, that's what I love to do. I think that's
Street dance. Street dance. And if you guys add her on Instagram, you could see some of her moves on there. She definitely, has a way with her body. I want to ask her too, but Rogue didn't give us the vocals, so we're not going to get any physicality today. I know. Maybe on the after party, guys. All right. Moving it back over to contestant number 1, our favorite X-Men herself. Hopefully she doesn't suck the life out of Mr. Stallion today. Hello. All right. What question do you have for contestant number 1?
Okay, contestant number 1. What does romancing your partner look like for you?
Kind of back to like how I was saying, like the little things, I like to pick up on things that my partner enjoys, whether it's like hobbies or things like that. And if I can go ahead and like prepare something, like I'm all about like someone planning things for me, because I'm the same way. Like I'll plan like an entire date and you don't have to worry about anything. You just go pretty much. So that's basically what I do. Like I take over the planning and I'll think about like everything, all your likes and things like that.
Wow. And somebody said also, of course, buying him some sneakers, but it's having somebody that at least has a moderate adventureness goes a long way. Psychologists say moderation and adventureness is one of the keys to success in a relationship. So kudos to you, Ro, with that answer. All right, moving it around to our lovely Rare, who has never had a boyfriend before, but we're figuring out a little bit on why that is. All right, so Mr. Stallion, what question do you have lined up for Rare?
Okay, contestant number 2. when you do get into a relationship, is there anything you're like dying to try?
Trying to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you would
Mm,
love to try in a relationship. You're looking forward to this.
yeah. I mean, there is any options that I can try. Like I want to try everything.
Everything.
She said there is no wrong answer to that one. Okay, Rare, we appreciate that. And just to heads up, guys, you got 4 more minutes. Whoever is going to be the top gifter at 6:30 Eastern time is going to make the official rate the date. So make sure to send those gifts, and you'll be featured. Unfortunately, Ellie Marie, we got 4 more minutes, and then we got the top gifter who's going to be featured on the official rate the date name tag. All right, moving it back over to Steph. What question do you have lined up for Steph? And is this her last question? Is this 3 questions apiece?
This is the last question of the round. Yeah.
Last question of the round, so definitely make this one count, Mr. Stallion.
Okay, contestant number 3. What is the aspect of dating that you hate the most?
Ooh, that's a good question.
When I am on a date,
Yeah,
Just
like
date in
what is
general.
what is something about dating that you don't like? Like what is like
Okay.
like what is the beginning part? Is it the boring part? Is it is it the what part of dating do you least like?
okay, I am that person that wants to. When I am with my boyfriend, I like to be with him, not doing anything, So when people is using the cell phone or doing something, I like to have the time, to be together. I think
What
that's
were you
what
saying,
I don't
Steph? No,
like.
yeah, no. I completely understand. Definitely. I remember one time I went on a date and I put my cell phone down and like, facing in the, like, not the screen. And she was like, "What are you trying to hide?" I'm like, "I'm just don't want to be distracted by it." Okay, so I completely understand though, but we're doing this all on the cell phone today. We're rocking and rolling. We got the lovely Mr. Stallion. Unfortunately, that was the last question of the first round, but you ladies did amazing. Can we just give a round of applause to our lovely ladies and our lovely bachelor? Okay, Mr. Stallion, this is where things get a little bit more difficult. Rather than picking the person that you want to eliminate, how about we pick the person that you first want to keep into round number 2? So give us the first person that is going to be going into round number 2 and give us a reason why. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Okay, so far I'm keeping contestant number 1.
Yay!
And why are we keeping contestant number 1 around?
I really want to hear some jazz,
Oh God.
So maybe we'll get to hear some of her voice into round number 2. That is also going to be a good question. Okay, this is where things get difficult. Who is going to be the final person that you're keeping into round number 2? Who do you think, chat? Give him some help. Can we get a drum roll, please? Mr.
This is a
Stallion.
really tough one. This is really tough because both of you are pretty amazing. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to pick Rare because her smile is very distracting.
That is distracting. Steph, we love you. You look great. You did amazing. And we would love to bring you back on the show, maybe feature you as a bachelorette.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steph. It was awesome having you. And you guys know where to find her. She has her Instagram on her profile. So don't get rushing too quick. No pun intended, Rare. So congratulations, ladies. You made it into round number 2. How about we flip the thing and we'll have contestant number 1 be Rare and we'll have Rogue be contestant number 2. But
For sure.
Mr. Stallion, you can't ask them all the questions. Ladies, how about we turn the tables back on him? So starting off with Rare, do you have a question that you would like to ask Mr. Stallion? Maybe something to get to know him a little bit more. Maybe what type of date would he take you on? Something along the lines of that. What question do you have for Mr. Stallion?
Okay, so I think we should ask about what is his hobbies first of all, like to
Yeah,
get
let's
to know
find out.
him.
Yeah, let's find out that he's not a serial killer or something.
Yeah.
Mr. Stallion, what are some of your hobbies? We know that you like playing games, but not those emotional type of games. What are a couple of more of your hobbies?
Okay, so I'm kind of a homebody. I'm not opposed to doing stuff outside. I like to go fishing and whatnot every then or go for walks, but generally speaking, I am a homebody. And I really just like cuddling up and watching a movie or some TV shows or something, aside from, when I'm playing video games. That's really what I like to do. I
What is
obviously go
your
to the gym and yeah.
What is your favorite TV show? Do you have one?
I've watched a lot of TV shows. Currently, out of recent TV shows I've watched, I started watching something called Outer Banks, which is a show that's kind of reminiscent of like The Goonies, but a little bit more modern day and
Mm.
got a really good story. So
That is awesome and Rare. Good question, Mr. Stallion. Hopefully, she's able to get you out of your comfort zone and out of that dang house. And hopefully, Rare, you're not on the outer banks of this round. Moving it right along to Rogue. Rogue, what question do you have lined up for Mr. Stallion?
What are some red flags that you look out for? Like, what is like one of the most major red flags that you've seen in a person that would automatically make you be like, no, I'm staying away from you?
And then after he answers this question, unfortunately, we're going to announce who is going to be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag. So, Mr. Stallion, you got a red room. What about those red flags?
I have a notebook with all of these written down. I don't know where it's at, but first I'd say lack of communication. Communication, I think, is the most important thing in any kind of relationship. And if somebody isn't willing to communicate, like they always shut you out or something, then you can't really get anywhere with them. So I'd say that. And trust, you got to be able to trust the person. I have too many friends where it's like every time their partner goes out, they're constantly blowing them up, like, where you at? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you can't trust them to even go out to the store. Like, why are you with them?
Interesting. All right. And I like those. We're definitely getting to know everybody in today's show. All right. So let's flip. Speaking of what was it? Red flags. I heard this awesome quote. They say you should enter in a relationship with rose-colored glasses. So seeing the best out of people, right? But if you're wearing rose-colored glasses, don't red flags just look like regular colored flags? Anyways, I hate my life. All right, let's move it back over to the lovely Rare. What question do you have lined up for the first question of round number 2?
Okay. When was your last relationship and why they ended?
Oof.
Well, that question, Mr. Stallion had a question for Miss Rare, but I'd like Rare jump in the boat and asking Mr. Stallion a question. How about she answers that question first, and then we'll have Mr. Stallion. So, answer your own question, Miss Rare.
Should I answer for my?
Well, dang, you know what? You can't answer it because you don't have a relationship. All right, Mr. Stallion, just let everybody know about your last relationship.
So to be honest, the last relationship I was in was with somebody that worked for this like prestigious science lab, and she was making well over $100K a year. And basically she broke things off because her mom told her that she should date somebody in her own like tax bracket. So yeah, that's pretty great.
That's awesome. And then you have a returning question for the lovely Rare? And speaking of things, we have the lovely Pebbles. She's going to be featured, but you guys still have time because at the end of the episode, you're going to be featured on the next episode. So we keep this thing rolling. Well, congratulations to Pebbles for being featured on the official Rate the Date name tag. Boom! There you go. All right, what question do you have lined up for contestant number 1, Mr. Stallion?
Okay, we have it flipped now. So Rare, I'm asking you this, okay?
Okay.
If you were ruler of your own country, what would be the first law that you introduced?
Well, I think first law that I would do, I think English in our schools, Ukrainian, should be much better. that we would change all teachers and I don't know, restart education in our country, like education system, because in Ukraine it's so bad, like only 10% of people speak in English. So if if I wouldn't learn by myself English, I wouldn't speak to you today. So yeah, I am a teacher. It's my profession. So I would, I would do it.
Where my English teachers at? Let's get them out there. Ukrainian has an APB out on our English teachers. Let's go. Let's go over there. Let's teach these women some English. All right, enough about that. Moving it right along to our lovely contestant number 2, which is going to be Rogue. What question do you have lined up for her, Mr. Stallion?
Okay, contestant number 2.
English teacher.
What is your type?
Oh, what do you mean? Are we talking emotionally or physically?
Both. Let's hit us with both.
Yeah, both.
Oh God. Well, number one, you have to be tall. Like that's a given because I'm like 5'8", so that's the main thing. I don't really have like a type physically. I'm more of like a, emotional person. Like I really have to have a strong emotional connection with you. So like, even in the past, like you could see no one looks a specific way. So I guess, if we connect mentally and emotionally, then you're my type. And if you're tall, that's it. Literally, I'm not that picky.
Yeah, way to keep it bleak, but you got right to the point. I got a random fact about Mr. Stallion that you ladies might not know. It says here about Mr. Stallion, he says, if he mispronounces your name, you'd feel compelled to change it. Another random fact that we have about Mr. Stallion is he can speak French and Russian. I don't know how that works. And that are some random facts about Mr. Stallion. All right, bringing it back over to Rare. What question do you have over for the lovely Rare?
Okay, Rare. What is your favorite thing about yourself?
Brain. I think it's the most attractive in every person. I don't really care about appearance, how a person look like. And I think it's the most attractive in me because I can't really say that, I don't know, I'm beautiful because I don't see myself from the side. And yeah, I just say brain.
They have, let me teach you an English word that you have for that. It's called sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual. Okay.
Boom. Yeah. Hey, look at me, the English teacher I am. All right, moving it back over to contestant number 2. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 2?
Okay, contestant number 2. What is something that people are always surprised to find out about you?
That I'm not as innocent as I look, and that I'm very outspoken. That's like the main thing that I get. All right, thank you.
Going back to that first question of what is one of the craziest things you've done for attention, we're kind of narrowing in that.
Oh God, here we go.
Figuring out that this X-Men definitely is knows a thing or two. We're definitely going to get into that maybe on the after show. Okay, all right, moving it back over to our lovely Rare. What question do you have lined up for Rare, Stallion?
Okay, Rare. What would be a deal breaker for you if you were in a relationship? Like what would make you not want to get into a relationship with someone?
Selfish. Like when this person's selfish.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should all the time keep balance. So in everything.
Yeah, we're learning a lot of what she would want in this mystery guy that she's never been with. No selfishness. You can't be jealous. Hopefully you teach English.
I mean, okay. I've been in a lot of dates, though.
I feel like she's gonna say, "Oh, I dated a guy for 7 years, but he never asked."
Girl, it's not too late to say that was a lie. It's not too late. It's not too late.
All right, moving it back over to contestant number 2, Mrs. Stallion. What awesome question do you have for contestant number 2?
Okay, contestant number 2. If you could learn one skill like instantaneously, what would it be?
How to play piano.
Oh, why piano?
Because I know how to play guitar, but piano is like super complex. Like that's like years, of perfecting. So I know it's random, but piano.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you're definitely in key with your answers today. All right, this is another plug for the show. So I got to tell you guys what you're watching. You're watching the #1 show on the platform. We have the lovely Mr. Stallion in the box today, and we have these two amazing contestants. It could go either way, and also all their fan bases in here, showing them a lot of love. After this, he's gonna make his final pick. They're gonna get to know each other off the platform, and then they're going to tune back in next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time and give us a bit of an update. Speaking of updates, we have the lovely Jordan, and he picked Promise on his last episode. We'll be hearing from them in about 10 minutes from now. But enough about that. Back to you, Mr. Stallion. What question do you have lined up for the lovely Rare?
Okay, that's #1. What is the most random thing you've ever done?
Random thing. A random thing. I don't know is it a random thing or not. I randomly go with person from stream to another country. Is it random?
Okay.
Is
Stream
this
yeah.
person boy or girl?
Girl? It's a girl. It's a girl.
All right, cool. That's awesome.
But
That is pretty random.
I never met her before that. We met first time in airport. So
Okay.
yeah, it's very rare.
So yeah, we definitely have some impulses going on with our two contestants today. Rogue with her, hey, I'll figure out the date, and then Rare is Rare.
I
like
am.
her
I
name
am
says.
straight.
She might accidentally go with you across the world. Who knows? All right, back over to contestant #2. What question do you have lined up for contestant #2?
Okay, contestant #2. Do you have any kids, and do you plan on having any kids?
I do not, and I don't know. If I were to have kids, it'd probably be like one later, much later on in life. But yeah.
Well, that is awesome. I got some more random facts from our lovely Mr. Stallion, if y'all guys want to get to know him. It says here, Mr. Stallion, his 2 cents is worth $37 and change. It also says here, he has inside jokes with complete strangers. And again here, it says, if he pats you on the back, you would list it on your resume. All right, enough about Mr. Stallion. Okay, Mr. Stallion, what question do you have lined up for the lovely Rare?
Okay. Rare, what small decision had a massive impact in your life? Something little you did that like changed everything.
I don't know. Small decision.
Taking that random trip to Portugal with Becky? No.
I had a small decision. I started learning English like 4 years ago, and I was really inspired by that. And this small decision that I made to start to learn actually led me to get in my second higher education.
Wow. Well, that I didn't think we're gonna be able to pull an answer out of you, but you went above and beyond. That is fantastic. And look at all the English friends you have also as by proxy. Okay, moving it back over to Rogue. What question do you have lined up for the lovely contestant #2?
Okay, this is a really serious one. So, complete deal breaker. So I hope you're ready. What is your favorite Disney movie?
Oh God. Like what? Oh my God, Disney movie? Pixar doesn't count, does it?
We can count
Does
that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right. I would say Nemo. It's a classic.
Yeah, Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
definitely.
that was like my favorite movie growing up.
Oh, look, somebody, the Little Mermaid. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Little Mermaid. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I definitely like Aladdin. So Rogue, hopefully you go Jafar in today's show, and maybe you'll come out with a boo. All right, enough about that. We got the lovely Rare who's ready for her question. What question do you have lined up for her, Mr. Stallion?
Okay. Contestant number 1, do you like being around a lot of people, or would you prefer to be alone?
That depends from my mood, but I think I'm very sociable. But sometimes there is days when I want to be alone, but I'm very sociable. I stay on the side. I'm a very sociable person. So I like to work with people, communicate with people, and I cannot live without people.
That's awesome. That's good. I think most streamers, we gotta have to find a way to deal with people, right? Even if we're showing our OnlyFans, no pun intended. All right.
Yeah, but there is sometimes days when you want to be alone, right?
I meant OnlyFan, like the only fan,
I got
All
one
right.
of those over here.
All right, Rogue, what question do you have lined up for the lovely Rogue today?
Okay, contestant number 2. How do you communicate in relationships?
How do I communicate? By confronting the situation like as soon as it happens.
I love how she was just ready to rock and roll with that answer. She was like, is the moment that happens, I don't believe in stonewalling. I will have none of that. Let's talk about it. Okay.
Yep. Super confrontational.
All right, Mr. Stallion, let's go to the chat for the next question. Somebody from the chat, this is Honeybee asks, if your crush took you out to the library on a first date, how would you make things interesting, and how would you add romance to that situation? So, starting off with you, Mr. Stallion, how would you add romance to a situation where there's very little to no talking?
If it was a date, at some point I would like to get loud enough for us to be thrown out. That would be the goal.
Okay, I didn't think you would give that answer. That is definitely shaking things up a little bit. He said getting loud enough in that library to all get kicked out at the same time. That's awesome. All right, what about you, Rare? If somebody took you on a date to a library, how would you add some romance to that type of situation?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Actually, we would find a book, even if it's a possible romantic book, and if it's possible to read out loud, so we would read, like I would read, then he would read, one page me, then another he, and he would change it. I think it's very romantic.
That is romantic, and hopefully it's not 30 Shades of Grey. I don't know how appropriate that would be. All right, Rogue, what about you? If Mr. Stallion brought you over to a library, how would you add a little bit more of that spice to the situation?
You know what's hilarious is that Rare's answer was literally my answer. Literally, just pick up like a book of poems or like a romance novel and just read out like those, I don't know, like those sentences or whatever that like makes you feel that way or whatever. Like that was my answer. So you took it. It's all right.
It's okay. Yeah, it was definitely a good answer. We all liked it. Okay, Mr. Stallion, we got enough time for one more question. So make it count, and we'll ask both of the ladies the same question. So,
Okay.
But while you think about that question, let me let y'all know a little bit more about y'all's lovely bachelor on today's episode. It says over here today that Jesus walks on water, Mr. Stallion swims on land. It said one time he hiked Kilimanjaro and climbed it without his hands. I don't know how that's possible. And then that's all I have for the lovely Mr. Stallion. Those are some awesome random facts that you sent in, Mr. Stallion. Mr. Stallion's an awesome guy. Just ask him. He'll tell you. All right. What is that going to be, that question, Mr. Stallion, for both of the lovely ladies?
I kind of like this one. Let's see. What television show would you like to live in? Like be a character in or something. I think that's a pretty good one.
Okay, so Rare, what television show would you like to live in, or maybe what television character you would like to be?
Like television show, it's like just TV show, movie. What is that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
movie.
movie. Yeah.
Movie? Okay, movie. I need to think about it.
Okay. Well, hey, what about while you think about that, we turn into our animated character Rogue. Rogue, what cartoon, what series would you like to live in, or what character would you like to be in a movie? And explain.
Yeah. I just think I don't really watch very often movies because I don't have really time to it because I study a lot.
Hmm.
Um, all right. I love movie Brooklyn, but I don't know. I don't think that any one of you watched this movie.
I think that's the movie where they're in Brooklyn, right? It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. That's
no, doesn't
awesome.
that movie have what's his name? Ed, the same guy from Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that movie. Okay, so who out of Brooklyn would you have wanted to be? The guy with the speech? Yeah, Edward Norton. Who would you want to be in that, and why?
Um, I don't remember her name, like the main character woman.
Okay,
So
and why would
yeah.
you want to be her?
Um, I don't know. I think she was really inspired by her dream. She had really passion to do what she did in the movie. So, and she's also very romantic. So like me, she reminds me.
Okay, so whenever that pops up on your HBO Max account, guys, we're definitely going to be thinking of Rare, and maybe we'll watch it, maybe we won't. Okay, moving it back over to Rogue. What character would you like to be? What film? What what TV show? Who would you like to be, and why?
I mean, obviously, aside from my character, I would say Vampire Diaries. I think the whole series is like badass. I would definitely be like Catherine, which is like Elena's evil like doppelganger. Damon is yes, the original. Y'all already know. Yup, all of y'all. The Vampire Diaries. Yup, I would be Catherine. I think Catherine was badass. Like she didn't take anything from anybody. So
I love the confidence. Didn't we really see Rogue's confidence starting to kick in, especially towards the end of the show? For sure, Vampire Diaries, I get compared to a vampire all the time. I think my mom hooked up with one back in the day. Who knows? I don't know. All right, enough about me. Let's move into this final decision. You ladies did great. Can we get another round of applause for awesome ladies? Did awesome. We got to know a little bit about Rogue, the type of guy she likes, how she would, kind of take control of the date and make those decisions, and also a little bit about, if she wants kids or not. We also got to know Rare. Rare is very well traveled. She has took a whim and she learned English, and that tended to pan out a lot for her. She's never had a boyfriend before. At least she says that. Who knows? And that's at least what she's sharing on
Nobody
today's
knows.
episode. But she has an infectious smile, and that's the reason why Mr. Stallion kept her around into round number 2. Can we just get a round of applause to these lovely ladies? All right, Mr. Stallion, you got a tough decision in front of you, and these ladies are not making it easy. I would not like to be you. Chat, who do you think he should pick? Should he pick the lovely Rogue, or should he pick the lovely Rare? And she's definitely not medium rare. She is definitely
No.
on point. Okay, Mr. Stallion, you got a decision. Rare or Rogue? How would you like it? Can we get a drum roll, please?
I'm gonna have to go with Rogue.
Rogue! Congratulations. Congratulations.
oh my gosh, I never win anything. No, I'm just kidding.
We definitely won someone's heart today. Rare, we loved having you. Any parting ways, and we would love to maybe
Thank
bring you
so
back on the show.
much. Love you. Bye bye, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
we definitely got love for you too, and we'd love to see you back. Well, then there were 2. Congratulations, Rogue. You made it on today's episode. You are our winner. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to get to know each other off the platform. I think y'all both have Instagram. And And then after that, I'm going to make a group chat for all of us, and I'm going to tell you what I expect from you guys. And then I'm going to skedaddle and let you guys handle the